All right, so I'm going to talk about how crypto actually made me quit my 9 to 5 at the age of 40. As a matter of fact, it forced me to quit my 9 to 5 at the age of 40. I went all in crypto. And I want to talk to you about this so you can understand if you are 40, 45, 50, 60 years old, you have the chance, you still have the opportunity to get into crypto. It could literally change your life. I'm 47 right now, going to 48, and crypto has literally changed my life. And it wasn't all easy. It wasn't all roses and rainbows like Sylvester Stallone would say in Rocky 5. I went through some hardships. I went through cancer 3 times. I couldn't work. So much went on, yet crypto actually saved me. Literally saved me, maybe even my life. I'm going to talk to you about that so you can understand how important it is to get into crypto, but also if you're over 40, what crypto to get into, how to get into it, because it's not the same as when you are younger. But what I can say, it's not a young person's game, if that makes sense. So to understand how crypto helped me, how I got into crypto, how it changed my life, we have to go back a little bit. We have to go back a little bit on what happened to me and how I actually got into crypto. See, in 2016, before 2016, I got in crypto in 2017, by the way, but in 2016 and before, I was an entertainer and I was a video director and producer. I know a lot of you might not know this, but I was actually in the entertainment business. And when I said entertainer, I mean I was an MC. So I used to go around doing shows, rapping in different clubs. I was actually quite known. I wasn't famous, but I was going around the Balkans. I was going around Europe. This is how I lived. It's how I made my living. I worked with a lot of really big artists, really important people. It started because I used to have my own nightclub. I used to bring them, and then I started MCing because the MC pissed me off because we used to do shows in Greece and have an MC actually host them. Another story, it doesn't matter. But in 2016, I started working I started getting into the recruiting business as well because the music industry wasn't really doing well. Music video clips people weren't paying as much. So I started doing other things as well. But then I got cancer. I got cancer for the first time in 2016, aggressive non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, went into chemotherapy, went into bone marrow transplant. And as I recovered and I got out of it, I noticed that first of all, I didn't have the energy and what it took to direct a video. It was extremely hard. Plus, the business was dying. But also, people wouldn't hire me anymore as an MC. I mean, I don't understand why. At the time, I didn't understand why. But then I remember in hindsight, okay, you ever heard that Eminem song where it says no one wants to hear the grandmother rap or grandfather rap? Well, no, imagine hearing your grandfather rap while has cancer or looks like he had cancer, right? So even though I wanted to do things, I wanted to perform, I just couldn't. Also, after I got better from cancer, I just didn't have the energy. I couldn't stay awake. It was extremely hard. It was hard on me. So I just couldn't do that. I didn't have the immune system to support it. So I pivoted back into sales and marketing. Now understand that before all this entertainment stuff, I was in sales, marketing, and consumer psychology for over 25 years. I've written books on that, so I knew about sales and marketing. So I pivoted there and I started coaching a telecommunication company or a cold calling center for a telecommunication company. And I started just, training them, mentoring them, and so on. Now, I heard about Bitcoin before. I heard about Ethereum. I just didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how to buy it. Didn't fully understand it. And then the owner's, not brother-in-law, the groom, the guy that married his best man, he was in Bitcoin and crypto and Litecoin and all that. And I immediately jumped on him and said, show me how to buy, because I wanted to buy. So he showed me how to buy, and I remember I bought my first cryptocurrency on Bittrex. I think it was Ethereum and Bitcoin. I can't remember which one I bought first, but I also bought Litecoin. I also remember back then he was talking about Sia coin, but I didn't really feel it that much. They wanted to mine it. I just didn't understand the mining part of it. I thought it would be just simpler to invest in it. regardless, I invested in it. I started buying it. This was early 2017, once I got better with my bone marrow transplant and all that. So, and I noticed myself just watching Blockfolio at Blockfolio back then before FTX bought it, and the prices were going up. I was making money, and it was all my focus was there. And then I started reading about it and watching Andreas Antonopoulos and learning about Bitcoin, and I just understood it, right? I started to get it. I didn't fully understand it, but I started to get it. And I got obsessed. I got obsessed with crypto. I started investing in crypto. I started selling stuff so I can invest more in crypto. I remember selling my stamp collections and everything to get more in crypto. And I couldn't concentrate on work. That's how much obsessed I got. Anyway, once our contract finished, I knew I needed to get into crypto. But I wanted to work in crypto, and I saw the trend. It's not that I just saw crypto, I saw the trend. And I figured, look, there's no marketing, there's not good marketing, there's not good sales copy, there's not good sales people in crypto. And I was one of the top in my game in sales. That's what I used to teach, right? So I pivoted my way into crypto, and I cold called my way into becoming CMO of Experty. It was in Poland back then. So against my doctor's orders, I moved to Poland, and I started working as a CMO. That's where I started learning the inside of crypto and really realizing I didn't know what I thought I knew. I didn't know what I didn't know. Let's put it that way. And I started learning how everything works. And I remember we raised $11 million for the ICO back then. But then there was a lot of things going on in crypto. Now, back then I was making videos on my other channel, Paul Democritou. It was just by my name. And I started making videos on crypto back then, telling people to buy, how to buy it, because I was excited about it. Because that channel was talking about business, entrepreneurship, and sales. Not a lot of subscribers. I think I had up 5,000 subscribers, something like that. I've already written my two first books, which was Success IAO, Improvise, Adapt, Overcome. Probably the best book I've ever written, with the stupidest title I could possibly think of back then. And also wrote The Closers Part 3 with Ben Gay III. He was with Napoleon Hill, Zig Ziglar, and Napoleon Hill. We wrote Part 3 together of the original Sales Bible. So those books on my wall, I actually wrote them. I actually wrote those. And the middle, that's a NAPS, National Association for Professional Salespeople. That's an oath for salespeople that Ben Gay started back then, back in the past, before Grant Cardone, before all these guys, right? So, anyway, I digress. I had some problems working at that company, probably because A, I wasn't really in crypto culture yet back then. B, they were screwing up their sales and marketing, in my opinion. C, they didn't understand certain things, but I also, in hindsight, didn't understand things from their side as well. I mean, they were great developers, very smart people, geniuses, but their sales and marketing sucked, to be quite honest. It's crap. And it's not just their fault, it's everything in crypto back then, right? So, there was no marketing. Everything was crap. Like, I'm telling you, it's still crap. It's just better than what it used to be as more players got in. And this is because supply and demand. There was a lot of demand for salespeople and marketing people, but not many people were getting and pivoting into there, at least not professionals. You had teenagers and people thought they knew how to do sales, but professionals that were making money, they didn't take this seriously. That's why I pivoted. And that was because of my entrepreneurship skills, what I've learned over time. I had mentors of my own back then, and I learned how to pivot into trending areas, if that makes sense, and that's what I did. I mean, I've had experience starting over many times in my life. Anyway, again, I digress. Let's get back to the subject here. And we'll get to how you should get into crypto if you're over 40. Again, I'm 47 right now. It's changed my life. And also we'll get into what type of cryptos you should be buying and what you should be doing differently than the average 20-year-old. Because it is different. You have different time, different responsibilities. There's a whole bunch of things that are different in your case. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, and yes, maybe you see me investing like a 20-year-old and 40-year-old, but I'm also full-time in this. I've been full-time since 2017 in crypto, right? Now I don't even work for companies anymore, and we'll get to that. So anyway, as I was saying, so I was working for this company, and I started, they weren't taking really my suggestions when it came to sales and marketing. I was saying that I'm going to interview all these people. They didn't actually believe me. So the first time I quit, I got pissed off at them and I quit. And then I got rehired because we talked about it. There was two owners, two CEOs. One was acting as a CTO, one the CEO. So we talked about it. They rehired me, and then I got fired. In all honesty, so I came back to Greece, and all these interviews I was gonna do for them, I had the interviews already planned, and they just didn't believe me. So suddenly you saw interviews come up on my channel, my first channel, Paul Democracy, with Joe Comm, with Andreas Antonopoulos, with Roger Ver, later on with John McAfee, and so on. I had all these interviews. And then what happened was I decided to use them on my own, for me. So I made a book out of them. I called my editor. I'm like, hey, let's make this book. And I have a ghostwriter. Obviously, she just takes my interviews and what I say and ghostwrites them into a book. So it's not like she does them from scratch, but that's how I used to work. That's how I actually wrote so many books. Don't think I just wrote all these by scratch. I was fighting cancer when I wrote my first one, Success IAO. And I remember I couldn't even write. I couldn't even write because I was in bed. And I remember having a side effect from the spine because they put like an injection in my spine. I can't remember what it's called, but I can see in Greek. And then what happened was I couldn't get out of bed. As soon as I get out of bed, I would get dizzy. My head would hurt, and I'd have to lie down. I just couldn't get out of bed. I think it was for 14 days. I could barely get to the bathroom. I had to run back and just throw myself back in bed, and I couldn't even run. It was really hard. So what happened was I actually recorded most of my book and sent her the recordings, and she made a book out of it. So there's ways to do things. I guess what I'm trying to say, there's ways to do things even if you can't. And that's how I wrote my first books back then. Let's go back to the crypto. I put them all in a book called The Crypto Factor. That's how the name The Crypto Factor started. And it's funny because the first one was supposed to be, another one I was writing was called The Success Factor, which I interviewed Patrick Bet-David, Evan Carmichael, and all these big multi-millionaires. But that book never came out, and the Success Factor book, somebody took the title, and I think I know how he got it. It was on Facebook. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't want to say anything. But that book might still come out one day. But what happened was I wrote The Crypto Factor, and then I started making crypto videos. But back then there was a purge in crypto. People were banning YouTube channels talking about crypto. I didn't want to get my channel banned, so I took the interviews down and put them on the Crypto Factor channel, what you're watching right now. And that's how the YouTube channel got born. So I left it there. I was mostly concentrating on my other channel. That was only interviews, nothing else. And I started working in crypto, started working for other companies, consulting companies, and stuff like that. And then I can't remember if this happened after, for 4 years I was cancer-free. I was cancer-free for 4 years, then got cancer again. I came back. Now I can't remember, I think I started taking the channel seriously after the second time I got cancer. I can't remember. But I do remember I was working for Coin Metro as a marketing director and also Mintable. So I was working on my channel. I was already working on my channel because I was working on this channel back then. I was making videos. And then I got cancer again. And then my dad got really sick. And meanwhile, before that, just so I can tell you that it's, a lot of hardships happen in case you're going through hardships. Understand that while I was fighting cancer, I fought cancer 3 times, by the way. You're going to hear my story with me fighting cancer 3 times. I actually lost my sister to cancer, my mother to cancer, and then my father, we'll talk about in a bit, all 1 year over one, while I was fighting cancer. So my mother died in my arms. I couldn't get to see my sister because I was fighting cancer. I couldn't go to England because of my immune system. My dad couldn't go because he was taking care of my mother. She was having cancer. And then when I was fighting cancer the second time on immunotherapy pills, my dad got sick and something happened. I don't really want to talk about it too much because I don't think I can make it through the video. And then he died. And then I think that's when the pills stopped working or before that a little bit with all the stress. If you look at my earlier videos, you'll see my puffy eyes and everything, and you'll see weird face, puffy, and people made fun of me a little bit. That was cancer that went to my head. It actually spread, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And it was very difficult. So I lost my jobs, obviously I couldn't work. And I got fired from one job. No, actually, I quit. Then I tried to pivot. No, I tried to pivot in another position from marketing director to assistant or to help with the branding of the CEO back then. But it was just, they didn't want to do that, so they decided to let me go, which in hindsight, I would have done the same. Who wants the responsibility of having someone probably going to die of cancer not being able to work? I couldn't keep up. Even though the pills started working after, it was extremely hard. Plus, my dad was sick. He didn't die yet, by the way. And then, and excuse me if I'm rambling a little bit. I'm trying to remember the events in my head because I went through a lot. It's hard to time this shit, right? But, and in Mintable, I remember they kept me on for quite a few months, even though I could not work as support. But obviously then the position ended because they went through a different direction. And I was left with no work. And then I was getting chemotherapy. And then my dad got sick again. He fell and broke his hip. I'll tell you what happened. And then went to a hospital. And then they wouldn't take care of him. So I took money, sold crypto, took him to a private hospital. But then insurance didn't cover him. And there was a whole mess. And then my pill stopped working. And I remember getting like an appendix attack. I had my appendix and it was burning and I was hurting. But I had to take my dad to hospital. And I remember taking my dad to hospital first. He got in, and then as soon as they took in and they kept him in, I left, and I went to another hospital, and they kept me in because of my appendix. But it was complicated because I was taking these immunotherapy pills, and the blood was thin, and all that shit. Because I had a lung embolism the first time when I had cancer, right? Anyway, and then that happened, and then I got out of there, and then my spleen got attacked, and I was like, I thought I was going to die, and I gave power of attorney to my girlfriend, my lawyer, and then meanwhile, they took me to hospital after for CAR T therapy, which is kind of a bone marrow transplant, but it's really hard. It's really hard and dangerous. I lost my memory in hospital. And they kept me in for like 42 days doing this. And I remember like my house was being repossessed. My apartment was being repossessed. It was on the list, and thankfully with my lawyer we sorted that shit out. But I was supporting my girlfriend, her mother, my dog, while I was in hospital, not being able to work, and that was all crypto I was using. I was like taking crypto, and then I ran out. I had like I think I remember I had $25,000 left in crypto. And that was the time I was shouting to everybody, all you, to buy crypto. If you look at my early videos, I was in hospital begging you to buy Bitcoin at 16.7K, 16,700, telling you the bottom was in at 15.6K. And before that, I made a bet with Garrett Holloway, betting that the bottom will be 15 to 17K, and I predicted 15.6K. That's what, all this stuff was going on. And you can see my videos in hospital, fighting for my life, trying to get you, and also trading from my hospital, getting chemotherapy. I was making a lot of those shorts back then, those stories that used to vanish after 7 days, but I also did live streams. You can find those live streams of me begging you, calling the bot and telling you to get in. But I spent a lot of money and I had to borrow money. It was hard. I borrowed money back then. It was embarrassing, but I knew I could. I had 25,000 left in crypto, but I knew I needed that. A, to use it to make more money if I became better because I know how to trade, or B, to be able to take care of shit if I didn't make it because it was hard. A couple of people helped me. A couple of people sent me money, and not so much family. My sister a little bit. I have one sister in America other than my sister that left us. She helped me a little bit, but she couldn't do too much. And then I had people in crypto really help me. And BitBoy Crypto being one of them, he sent me $1,500. He didn't have to. We didn't know me like that. I told him the situation. He sent me $1,500. I remember it to this day. A couple more people that don't want to be named. A blockchain girl by name. I hope she doesn't mind me naming her. She sent me like $2,000. And my friend Physique, he sent me another $2,000. My Mario $2,000, and so on. And my one of my employers, I'm not going to mention who and which one because I think they want to stay anonymous. They sent me $8,000, and they told me I can keep it and never give it back. Same with BitBoy Crypto. I said, keep it. I don't want it back. So that got me through paying bills and paying for different shit that I just couldn't pay because everything suddenly when my dad left, he had loans, this, that, they came onto me, and I didn't have a way of paying these. So everything just fell on me. I was in hospital at the same time. I couldn't work. I didn't know what to do. So once I got out of hospital, thank God it was 2 days before Christmas 2022, and I started getting a little bit better and moving around, but I couldn't really work high stress or travel or anything like that. Or I didn't want to, but I was supposed to work again. I was supposed to I started calling companies and getting interviewed. Obviously, I couldn't do directing videos and producing. There was not much money in it anymore. Plus, it was too high stress. I didn't have the energy. It was a bit over. Other people started doing music videos for cheaper. It just didn't make sense. And then as an artist, I looked like shit, but also I would, you didn't really want to hear me rap. In hindsight, again, back then I thought, why is no one hiring me? I'm the best. But, in Greece anyway, as an MC, not a rapper. But no, I just couldn't do it. I mean, I didn't have the energy. I couldn't stay awake at night, but also the immune system. I couldn't, when you're an MC, you want to be with the people. I like getting down off stage. And also you have to stay awake. It was not going to happen. So I could only work online, try to get jobs online, but I noticed my energy just wasn't there. So around April, I decided, look, you went through this shit. I was starting to get better. I went through this shit. There's no way I want to work high stress environments anymore. I don't know how much time I have left. I didn't know if I was going to live yet or not. I'm still alive, thank God. I don't know how much time I have left. This was the third time, by the way. So I decided for the first time to make coaching available, and also later on my VIP group to you guys, to this channel. Before that, I was just working for companies. People were asking to hire me, but they couldn't. I wasn't doing advice for people. They couldn't afford me. I was doing only to companies, to projects. That was the whole point. That's why I also wrote the Crypto Marketing Playbook and Crypto Marketing Essentials. And how to sell a pen before that. That was all for YouTube was my branding to get me business with companies. So it was a flex calling the tops and bottoms and talking about crypto in order to work. Does that make sense? So when I started, I started going to, I started working, coaching and stuff like that, and the response was amazing. I got clients, and I haven't done anything else since then. The money I got from there, I would invest in crypto and take profits when I needed, buy back the dips, and just to swing trade those while doing my YouTube channel here. So the money that came in from you guys, from coaching and the VIP group, I would use for my bills, to pay for stuff, and also to be able to invest in crypto. But after a while, it just became being able to pay my way and do things, because now anything I make in crypto, I don't need to sell crypto anymore. Even though I have certain times in order to pay some massive bills, now whatever I make in crypto can stay in crypto, so I can amplify it, and so on. And that's why I do these videos about portfolios and everything, and what to buy and when to sell, because I actually actively trade. And that's the first thing. I guess we can get to the first part of this. If you're over 40 years old, you don't want to be day trading. Most of these channels out there on YouTube talk about day trading. Why do they talk about day trading? Because they want the views. If you're a YouTube channel and you want views, which everyone does, so do I, you want to day trade, to do technical analysis every day so you can get those same views. Because if you were doing it once a week or once every 3 weeks like I do, then you're not going to get those views out of those, right? Now, the problem there is that this is a day trading system. So whether the YouTuber is good or not at doing this is day trading. You don't have time to day trade. You don't know how to day trade. You shouldn't be day trading. But you follow their day trades and you see videos like, oh my God, sell, this has happened, and Golden Cross this. But it's such a small time frame, it's irrelevant. Whilst me, and what I suggest for people over 40 that have a job, have responsibilities, have family, and so on, that you want to take it easy, you want to do swing trading. And if you look at statistically, most swing traders make more money than day traders because they take a longer positions, longer time. Does that make sense? So you only need, the best traders in the world that make the most money only take 2-3 trades a year. Now, we do a little bit more of that in crypto, but you only need 2-3 days a year. That's it. So if you do that, then you don't need to be on the computer all the time. You don't need to be watching all these videos all the time. You simply don't, right? So that's one thing you should do over 40. The other thing over 40 is it's not too late. And no matter what conditions you are in, it's not too late. Now, let me tell you a story. When I got into crypto the first time, and when I got into crypto after the cancer the first time, and also lately, When I came out of chemotherapy and bone marrow transplant the first time in crypto, it took a long time to like get back on my feet and everything. It took months and months, maybe even a year. I remember buying a PlayStation, so I had it right there on the wall where the books are right now, so I could turn my seat around here and play PlayStation with my girlfriend and have some time. But I noticed that I didn't have too many hours in a day. I would sleep most of the day, be awake 2-3 hours, sleep again. I couldn't stay up. Now, back then I had my parents were helping me as well. I lived with my parents. Yes, this is the house. I live with my parents. Oh my God, you're over 40, you live with your parents. No, look, first of all, I wanted to spend time with my parents. Second of all, I was going through cancer. And third time, yes, I've lived on my own. I lived on my own in Poland. I've lived on my own in England. I've lived on my own in Sweden. I've lived on my own in Iran. I've been working. It's a Greek mentality. I came back here so I can save money. I did a lot of entrepreneurship moves in my life where I lost everything and I had to start over again. But regardless, anyway, that's a different video. So I'm back here. They're taking care of me. But I got my PlayStation back there, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I gotta get rid of this PlayStation. After 2 weeks, I sold it half price, and I got my iPhone. I think that's when I started doing YouTube Shorts, and I went on that trend. Because if you spend your time on PlayStation, you're not doing anything else. And I had a lot less time, so the PlayStation would stop me doing that. So if you are over 40 and you have a PlayStation, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I understand it because I did it too. The third time I got cancer, end of 2022, I got out. I bought a PlayStation 5 Slim, yeah. And I bought it because it was an offer for my new phone line. They give you a discount and so on. One of the options was a PlayStation 5. I bought it. I played for it for a week. No, this is taking time. I could be doing a video like this one at that time. So what I did was I stopped using it. It started gathering dust. I put it back in its box. I couldn't be bothered to put it up for sale. I didn't have time to put it up for sale. I was doing other shit. But eventually I sold it for half price again because I just wanted to work. So get rid of distractions. I'm not telling you not to have hobbies. But if you do have hobbies, you need certain type of hobbies because hobbies form habits and habits become character over time. Your character is the accumulation of your hobbies and habits, if that makes sense. So when you want to do hobbies, you want 3 types of hobbies. 1, to exercise your head. I might be playing chess or something like that. 2, you want something to exercise your body. For me, it was boxing and gym. It could be anything. It could be tennis or basketball. And 3, you need one to relax. That could be something like fishing or walking in the park or hiking or something like that. For me, it was fishing. A lot of my videos you'll see from both channels, you'll see I was fishing because I used to also record a video because I used to go there and I just used to stay there for 15 hours, right? But I used to also record videos and do stuff and also fish so I can unwind. That was my thing. So you have hobbies, you're having fun, but you're also growing as a person, investing in you. That's what investing in you means, or part of it, because your hobbies are actually making you grow as a person, your mind, body, and soul. Does that make sense? So that's how, that's one of the things. Get rid of distractions. Now, when I was the third time fighting cancer, this time, I did all this. I created the group. I created the coaching. And then I obviously stopped working for companies and stuff like that. But understand that over these years, because of the cancer, a lot of times over these years I couldn't work. So there was almost impossible for me to get a job, a normal job. Plus I'd be broke. I'd be, if I didn't make the money I made and paid what I paid, I'd be on the street, literally. But also I stopped working crypto helped me stop working 9 to 5. Because a lot of money, of course, is made from companies and coaching, but that didn't last many periods of time. A lot of that and most of that was trading crypto. So I literally lived off crypto. I lived off of profits for a very long time, since 2017. And yes, any money I would get in crypto, put in crypto and would make even more and invest in this and invest in. But crypto made me or forced me to quit my 9 to 5, and now I'm just doing crypto. Crypto can change your life. Now, getting a job in crypto is one thing. You might not be able to do that or not want to do that, but investing in it, you should do it now. If you're over 40, get into crypto. because it's going to teach you how to invest. Don't do technical analysis straight away because you won't be able to do it. But invest, become an investor. It takes 2-3 years to learn a technical analysis, but you can invest in crypto now, and over time you can learn how to do technical analysis as a hobby. One of those hobbies I was talking about before, well, if it's reading, maybe you want to read about Wyckoff, maybe you want to read candlesticks, maybe you want to read how to invest, and now you're learning Eastern and Western technical analysis, and now you're learning technical analysis while you're investing, but you're also growing as a person, and you're also training yourself to learn, because when you start reading, it's not just that you're learning what you're reading, but your brain is learning how to learn. And that's why reading is so important. That's why I have all these books and I have so many inside, because reading is fundamental. Studying is fundamental. Watching courses, I'm on YouTube all day. I'm on YouTube as a channel, but I also watch how to grow on YouTube. Right? I've hired coaches in YouTube, even though I teach YouTube to companies. That's one of the things I was doing, right? Teaching YouTube and marketing and video marketing to companies because of my advantage in marketing for over 25 years, plus producing and directing. I know how to make videos. So that's one of the things and one of the services I was offering to companies. But what was I? I moved on too fast. But generally speaking, when you learn to learn. Wait, let me backtrack a little bit. By the way, this is a little live. I'm not going to edit this video, so you're going to see the mistakes in the video. I just want to talk to you as a person here, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm going for with this video. So I don't even know if this video is going to get any views. Maybe no one really listens to it. But I really think that people over 40 should get into crypto. So 50, 60, 70. Okay, so you get into crypto, you invest, you learn over time, technical analysis or anything like that. You learn to learn, and you acquire new skills, which you may or may not use with crypto, because these skills you'll learn to be an investor, but you'll also learn to think, you'll learn to learn, but also you can use technical analysis in Forex, in stocks, in commodities. Hell, you can even use it, and I've done this, use technical analysis in a certain way to see which of your employees will do well. I did it when I was coaching the company I was talking to you about in the beginning. I actually said, let's see if we can use technical analysis to predict who's going to be good and who's not. And you know what? We did. And whenever they wanted to fire somebody, because it was very sales orientated, conversion and success orientated, who they're going to keep, who they're going to fire, who they're going to replace. A lot of times they wanted to fire somebody, but I'm like, look, it just broke support. It just broke resistance. He's made this support. I think is going to go up, because you can evaluate people that way. Whilst if you just look at numbers, you might not look at it. But if you look at it over time with technical analysis, you can see if they're going to actually go up. And it's very basic. And I'm telling you, it works. I've done it. It works. So I actually wanted to write a book on it. I wanted to dive in more into it. I'd never got the chance, because obviously I'm trying to do everything with limited time in certain times in my life, but it works. Anyway, again, I digress. Let's go back to over 40. So if you're over 40, there's a few things you might be wanting to do different when it comes to investing in crypto. Now, for me, I'm a bit of a degen anyway. I'm a high-risk player. I was in the industry, so I'm a bit different. I also trade like a 20-year-old and 30-year-old, but I also trade as a 40-year-old, meaning I have two different trading baskets, if you will, and those are broken down in many different styles and things. So I've already talked about how to set up the perfect crypto portfolio, how to do that and everything. I'll leave a link here for you. I'll also leave it at the end of this video, or in the description down below, so you don't have to worry about that. Just concentrate on this video right now, so you can get the point. But what you want to do is you want to be a little bit more conservative, but balance it out. So you want your high caps, mid caps, and low caps, but you want to be mostly in your high caps, a little bit less in your mid caps, and very small in your small caps. But this has to be calculated risk, and not meme coins and shit like that, but more calculated. And if it is a meme coin, it needs to be a calculated meme coin, which I will actually show you, tell you what that is, and give you one right now. So in this part of the video, I'm actually going to tell you what to buy and how to buy it. Then I'm going to tell you a system that you can use in your life as well. So number one, You want your high caps. Now, of course, you want your Bitcoin. You want to be able to accumulate more Bitcoin within the bull market as well. So you want to be taking profits into Bitcoin, and you can even use Bitcoin to buy dips. So if you take profits into Bitcoin and the market dumps, Bitcoin usually dumps less than the other projects. The other projects go down here. You can actually buy these altcoins with Bitcoin and then amplify it as they go up, take profits back into Bitcoin, and that way you make more Bitcoin. That's one way, and one way to think and do about it, right? That's what you want to do as long as you're in the bull run. That's what you're doing right now. Now, at the end, you might want to take profits from your Bitcoin as well, but I suggest you always keep some long-term as a hedge to the economy. Now, based on sound money principles and so on. I don't want to talk too much about Bitcoin right here. I've talked about Bitcoin in many videos. You can find them online. Then you want your Solana and Sui. Why? Big investors getting behind Solana, Sui taking market share. Is it going to succeed or not? Doesn't matter. Both will probably ultimately go up. And if one doesn't and the other one takes its place, you're holding both. So you want your Solana, you want your Sui. You want to have Ethereum as well because of institutional investors coming in, but that's not what to be in right now. As we said, you should shift into other coins because that's how you want to protect yourself, and you also want to take advantage of this one. You can always buy Ethereum later on. Now, when it comes to, and please look at the date of this video before you comment if you're watching this in the future. Oh my God, you were wrong. Well, look at the date, listen to what I'm saying, then comment, okay? I would really appreciate that. Now, next up, you want to play with narratives. Now, the narrative for this bull market, we were talking about this in the previous bull market, what's going to be the narrative for this bull market. We were right, it was gaming and it was AI, AI being first, then gaming, then back to AI. That's pretty much what happened. Now, when it comes to AI, you want your blue chips and maybe a smaller play if you want. But your blue chip right now, it's the best time to get into AI. Why? You can get into ASI. ASI is Fetch, Ocean, and Ajax. They've actually merged, made the partnership into one. They're making the ASI token, and each Fetch token will be ASI token. So buy Fetch or buy ASI, depending on what your exchange is given at the time, and then put that into a wallet and hold that. Because if AI works, this will work. The accumulative power of these coins will be able to actually take market share from Web 2 or out of crypto projects. And if anything's going to succeed, it's going to be this one. And if we go into a bear market and everything gets destroyed, this one's probably going to be one of the ones coming back, just like Solana did, where I was telling you back then. Okay, so you want to be in ASI. And then you want maybe another AI project that's a little bit more risky that can make profits, like AI Tech, which we talked about last year and a half ago. We did an amazing one. AGI, again, we called it 0.03 cents. That's another one. Or maybe, I don't know, something like PAL or something like that. That's your riskier play that can make you more profits. But if you're wrong, it's okay, but you're still holding ASI. Unless you're wrong about the narrative, you're good to go. And if you're wrong about the narrative, maybe it'll pick up in the next bull run, so that's your best play, right? Because you're over 40, you're 50, you're 60, you have responsibilities, you have family, you don't have time looking over everything and making small trades. Then you want something in gaming. So a blue chip would be IMX. But another one that would be a riskier play, but will make a calculated risk, would be something like G-Swift, because G-Swift is a gaming token or a gaming project. It's a gaming company that has a lot of projects in gaming in it or under it, but it's partnering with ASI. Now, if you watch my earlier videos over a year ago, 2 years ago, I keep on talking about trend stacking and how companies are going to merge, and that's what we're seeing. We saw the merge with AI companies with the ASI movement, and now we're seeing trend stacking, which I said gaming and AI will trend stack, and we're already seeing that with G-Swift making the partnership with ASI. So that's kind of like a calculated risk right there. Does that make sense? And then when it comes to a standalone game, you want to get into pixels because that will take market share from Axie Infinity or be the next Axie Infinity in my opinion. And then when it comes to meme coins, you want to take a calculated risk. So Dogecoin is a good risk because Dogecoin is not going anywhere. It's got proof of concept. It's got a community. It's backed by Elon or might be backed by Elon. Who knows? Doesn't matter, but it's been around, will always be around, and will always pump in meme coins. Maybe it won't do 100x, but it will do good. It will do very well. I think you should hold Dogecoin. We were shouting about this even before Elon, even through the inception of this channel. We were talking about accumulating Dogecoin. Even in the previous YouTube channel, we were talking about Dogecoin. So you probably made a lot of money in Dogecoin if you listen to this channel. But also you might want to get into something like Foxy on linear. Now you might be saying, Paul, why would I take a calculated risk on a meme coin? How is this even possible? How can a meme coin be a calculated risk? Well, it's very simple. You're not betting on a meme coin. You're betting on Linear Chain. Linear Chain belongs to MetaMask, and they made the Foxy token, or the Foxy token is their mascot. Maybe they didn't make it officially, but it's their mascot and it's official. So now you have Foxy token on Linear. You're not betting on the meme coin, you're betting on Linear Chain, but you'll also benefit from meme coin runs. Does that make sense? That's calculated risk, and that's how you want to think about it if you're over 40. Now, I'm going to make a video for older people, like over 40, like I'm going to make a portfolio if you're over 40, 50, 60, and so on. I'm actually going to do that on my channel, so make sure you subscribe down below and hit that bell notification button if that interests you. If you're over 40, you want to be subscribing to this channel regardless. I'm 47 years old, by the way. All right, my girlfriend might be 30, but I'm 47 years old, and you know, and I understand the differences, right? I understand the difference. I understand the hardships. All responsibilities. I don't have parents right now to help. I have no one to help. If something goes wrong, it's on me. And if my girlfriend needs something, if their family needs something, if anybody, my friend, it's on me. I have no one else to ask for help except God. Right? So I understand the responsibility, especially if you have a family. I might not have my own family, but I took care of my parents while they were dying. I was running around trying to save them, trying to help them, trying to do as much as I could. At some point, taking care of your parents becomes like taking care of your kids. But I also have my girlfriend. I also have my puppy. I have my pit bull, which is now not a puppy. He's actually over 4 years old, but I still see him as a puppy, which I feel responsible and obligation to. I love him to bits, and he's been there with me, and my girlfriend's been there with me. Obviously, everything's theirs. Right? Everything is theirs. That's all I'm working for. I don't care about becoming a millionaire. I've lived the lifestyle where I didn't care about money. I've lived the trips. I've lived 5-star hotels. I've lived junior suites, and so on. I do it now, but a little bit more calculated. But I was in Dubai. I was in Poland. I go around, but I don't care about getting rich. I'm in crypto. And I'm doing what I do to A, leave a legacy, B, to have freedom. I need enough money to have freedom. And because I don't have a real job that will pay me regardless, or social, or anything like that, I have to make sure I become a millionaire again so that I can be able to survive in bear markets, in my old age, and so on, and take care of my loved ones. Also, I don't know how much time I have left. I don't know if I could be doing videos next year. I might be dying of cancer. I do not know. I know I look energetic. I look great. HRT and testosterone probably has a lot of reason for that. Plus my belief in God, which is my biggest reason, my biggest power, is I believe in God. No matter what religion you are, by the way, I'm not judging. I just believe. But I guess if you believe in yourself, it's also important, right? So I have all that. But I'm not trying to become a millionaire and get Lambos. I don't even like Lambos. I'm more of an SUV guy, and I'm more of a motorbike guy. If you notice, if you've been following me, I have a nice BMW GS. I'm good, right? I don't need flashiness, if that makes sense. And I'd rather make more money with this or go on trips and have memories. And I know I don't post a lot of pictures of... I used to do this as an MC. I got sick of it. I used to have to post whenever I was in a 5-star hotel because I had to flex. Now I don't have to flex, and over time, as you start making money, you soon realize that you don't need to flex. You flex sometimes because you have to, because it's marketing, it's branding. No one wants to listen to a financial advice from a guy that's broke and can't afford to buy ice cream. But you want to have, like when I go on trips, when I go on holiday, maybe I take a couple of pictures. When I go to a suite, maybe I'll take a picture. I even book suites. Every time I book a suite, I book a junior suite or a suite when I'm on holiday, when I'm on business. And my girlfriend's like, why do you spend money? You don't need it. We're only going to be sleeping there. And my answer is because I want to make videos in here and it has to look good because of videos, because of YouTube. How many videos have you seen me from a suite? I never do them. Either I'm too busy or I'm having too much fun. My girlfriend's sitting there taking pictures. I don't. I hate it. Right? All these people that are vlogging, I don't like it because I miss everything. My girlfriend likes taking pictures of stuff and food and shit. I do it sometimes, but because I feel like I have to, I don't like it. I like doing this. I like talking to you like this. I love this video right now where it's not edited, where I just talk to you face to face or face to camera, face to lens, and we can actually sit down and have a real conversation. I really, really hope this video takes off, because I wish I could just do this all the time and just share knowledge and share my story with you and tell you how you should get into crypto no matter how old you are, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, I don't care, 70. Get into crypto. The only exception I made was with my dad at some point. He asked me, is that he had money on the side, and he said, should I put it into Bitcoin? And I knew it was kind of the lows. It was a good time to get in. I'm like, no, don't. I'm like, and I was very frank with him. This was before he got sick. I'm like, I think my mother already died. I already lost my mother, and I said, listen, you're 70 something. Man, I don't even remember how old he was. You're 70 something years old. Enjoy your life. Like, leave crypto and let me worry about making money with investing. Just enjoy your life and make sure you're happy. And anyway, so yeah, you gotta get into crypto. You gotta get into crypto, study crypto, learn over time. It can be life-changing. It can actually get you out of your 9 to 5, and it's when you least expect it. Because it might not get you out of your 9 to 5 because you made a shitload of money at 100x or 1000x. It might get you out of your 9 to 5 because you can pivot into another business, or within your business do something else, then pivot later on because you have the advantage because you know something else is something else. You have experience as other people don't have experience. Or it could give you a second income, or it can amplify your income as an investor, or you can get into other shit after, like AI and shit like that, which you should be. If you're not using AI right now, I'd love to do a video about this. If you're not utilizing AI right now, you're completely screwed. AI is going to amplify the people that are using it, make normal people be able to become exceptional, and exceptional people beyond that. And whoever doesn't use AI is going to just die. Like, when I say die, I mean like lose their business and be one of those poor people complaining, oh my God, AI took my job. Learn AI. AI is the next thing you have to learn. The only difference between crypto and AI is crypto, you can actually invest in. You can invest in AI too. But crypto, you can actually make faster money investing in it right now. But with AI, it's more of a learning how to use it and using it for your productivity. Does that make sense? I hope I'm recording this. By the way, I did this video before. It was a longer video from what I see. But what happened, no, it was a bit shorter. But what happened was I forgot to click, the sound was off. So I fucked up the whole video. I had to start over. Of course, I stopped. I watched Joe Rogan for a little bit, took a break because I was pissed off after I made the video. It disappeared. So, yeah, and generally speaking, that's it. You just get into crypto. If you're over 40, follow my advice. I'll make more videos on how to invest, what kind of a portfolio you should have over 40. I might make it my next video, as a matter of fact. Let me take a note of it right here. Sorry, this is live, but I have to do it. Portfolio over 40. Because I want to get those videos out for you guys, because I do have a lot of audience. Most of my audience is 25 to 40 years old. If I look at my demographics, 25 to 40 years old. But I do have a lot of people that are a bit older than that. And I want to be able to appeal on all of them. Now, the reason I have older crowd than most YouTubers, most are investors, they're people that want to make money, they're people that have a little bit different than your average young teenager because of my style, but also because of my background. So this is why I'm making this video right now. It's more human and more of a talk, because I think some of you will relate to this more. And if I see enough people relating, I'll do a lot more of these. Does that make sense? All right, thank you very much. Do me a favor. I told you something about watching a video earlier on about how to set up a portfolio. I think that was it, yeah. So watch this video right here if you want to learn how to build the perfect crypto portfolio, but also make sure you subscribe down below, because I will come out on how to do your own research using AI. Since we just talked about AI, I'll release that maybe next, but also portfolios over 40. So watch this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. And yeah, just keep succeeding.